As I say, my mother, for Christmas, everyone's going to be getting a pen and a pencil. So what I thought I would do is I'd just sort of do a pencil for you. You've probably all seen pens done to death, but we'll do a quick pencil. So what we've got here is a finished pencil ready to go. The actual tubes in the brass tubes are a little bit smaller than the pens, and I've chosen these ones because they're 7mm pencils. I'd never seen them before. I'd always done the Sierra ones, so this is great because it was cheaper. But what you can see here, again, this veneer was about that size, so it's actually quite thick. So you can get some quite thick bits running through it, as well as going into some quite small bits. I mean, I just love the effects. I haven't quite worked out, if I did them all very close to the centre, what that would look like. Or in these ones here, I'll go right to the outside and then back in. So you're going to be cutting some away, which will then cause the fat bits to show. And again, you can see that effect here. I like that.
So after you cut it, do you sand it or?
Oh, this, I mean, oh yeah, so what, this bit here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I go through my bandsaw, you always get the sort of swarf on one side. So I just get sandpaper, I mean, it doesn't matter, and I just sand that down completely so it's nice and smooth so I can do this. Once I've glued in the veneer, once it's glued and it's ready, I just get my my Stanley knife and I just cut it down. As you can see here, I haven't actually cut it down here, but normally I just get the Stanley knife and cut it down, so it's relatively flat for when I put it back into the bandsaw, to do that. And because you're going to be cutting all of this away as well, it doesn't matter how coarsely you sand it. All you want to do is to just get rid of that swarf so it actually butts and joints together, so you get a decent joint. If you had, yes, certainly. No, I'll put these at the back.
Just no meat in the middle. Oh God, what was it? Celtic,
These ones here is exactly the same process as I've described there. This is a little bit of tulip wood, but the bands here are from an old beer can. So it's just aluminium from a beer can. And again, you can see, depending on how you do the swerves and what have you, you still get fat bits in it. But I prefer this is me personally for my taste, I prefer the slightly thinner bit. I think it looks quite nice, but it's horses for courses, isn't it?
You use the same glue for that?
No, for the aluminium, I actually use CA glue.
Right.
And then once I've finished, and then I just flooded the joints as well.
Right.
Did you take the paint off the beer can?
I haven't.
You didn't, you say just literally just cut the beer can off?
Yeah. I've never had one break on me so far, but I quite like the beer can. The thin design, as it were. So it's a really easy way of doing segmented work. Right. This. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to work. We all probably have at home one of these boards that we can fit onto our lathes. So I brought this along thinking it was going to fit. How wrong I was. So it's upside down and it's a little bit wobbly. But what I... Ooh, this isn't very good. But when I do pens and pencils and things like that, I just use one of these in trays. And I put everything in the in tray and I try and put it in the order that I want it. So it's not going to get lost. I know where it is. The number of times that I just sort of put things on the wood here and it would just roll off into all the sawdust. And then it's take me the next half hour trying to find that little bit. So I just use these in trays now. And there it is. So let's see how this is going to work. Can you see the in tray from there? Right.
Some of it.
So
The bit near you is visible, the bit away from you is not.
is that visible there?
No,
Is that visible?
no. It needs to be right
Oh,
in there.
right. Sorry.
Good job, Alan.
Got the job.
How about that? Right, can you
Yes.
We're right, okay. So, we've got the end cap, we've got the clip, you have the joiner, which joins the two bits of wood together. This goes at the front. There's your nib cover, and there's your pencil. Can you all see that? So it is, the construction of it is slightly different to doing a normal pen. So you turn it normal, and then it's just a case of fitting it together. So what I try to do is I'll do this bit first. I'll put the clip on, then I'll put the joiner in, and then I'll go to the front. I'll put the front stop in, and then we slide the pen in, and that screws into it. So it's subtly different to the way we do the pen. So I will... And there you go, everything's moved. And this is just a cheap pen joiner thing that I bought. I can't remember where I bought it from. Where is it? I think that's it. So that's joined. Let's see whether we can. Oops. I suppose this is as bad as watching somebody doing sanding, isn't it? Right, and then so that's the top bit done. So there's the clip in place. There's the middle joiner. We're now going to just put the bottom bit in.
There's no glue.
No glue.
Do you find this quite useful to have the machine you've got there?
I do. I used to use the vise. The vise and the clamp. I'd always used to twist it and sort of dent the metal and what have you. I find this quite handy. I mean, there are lots of far better, far smarter jigs than this one, but and then once we've got that in place, it should be as simple as slotting that in, and then you screw the nib retainer in place, and then you just press the end and you can see the thing coming out.